Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR 2. What do you use to remind yourself that everything isn't that bad? I don't need a wheelchair anymore. Amazing. This internet stranger is happy for you. Your name wouldn't happen to be John Locke, would it? That comment gave me a smile, with an orange over my teeth. Don't tell me what I can't do. I've heard that's a really good strategy for people struggling with suicidal thoughts. Pick 1 or 2 things that are coming out weeks or months from now. A new game, book, movie, whatever, and remind yourself that you will miss out on that one thing if you go through with it. It's the little things that keep us going, and it's the little things that are often the most important. Used to say this about finding out about how Game of Thrones would end, and now I wish I just killed myself. Which is why it pays to not put all your eggs in one basket. Especially when those eggs are your life. This comment is honestly life-changing. I've been feeling pretty down and was having suicidal ideation for a few weeks. This is a hopeful perspective, something I've never thought of, but a way I can manage or rearrange those thoughts. Thank you. The universe existed for billions of years before humans, and will be for billions of years after. It's pretty cool that we have eyes and ears to look around and check it out for a while. It's pretty weird to think that this all could have existed without ever being seen by anyone. We're super lucky it was us that get to check it out. We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. Carl Sagan. I'm not religious per se, but for some reason when I first heard this sentence it had a profound impact on me. We exist in this pocket of time for a short while, and are quite possibly the only beings intelligent enough to explore the mysteries of the cosmos. So we as humans were birthed from it, by chance, and when we all move on so will our collective knowledge, and the universe may never know itself this well again. It's beautiful, and makes me realize how important it is to stay curious and not get caught up in the stressor of life. To ignore your curiosity is an injustice to the stardust you're made of. I try to remember that we're all just making it up as we go along. You're not wrong there. Nobody really knows what they're doing. Biggest realization for me as an adult was when I learned nobody actually knows what they're doing. Just their best. That's when it became crushing to me. Based on my structured childhood, I always assumed somebody would also have my adulthood structured out for me. I am entirely independent now, but I'm still figuring out how to be an adult. I think about the fact that all things considered I'm reasonably healthy and there's no warrant out for my arrest yet. IDK, this kinda sounds like something someone with a warrant out for their arrest would say. I heard a guest on the Joe Rogan podcast say, a healthy person wants a million things. A sick person just wants one thing. I use this all the time. Edit. Source. www.youtube.com. I was diagnosed with leukemia a month ago. Can confirm I just want normalcy again. Edit. Thanks everyone for the kind messages. I'm gonna kick the crap out of this thing. So true. As bad as things may seem, I have certain people in my life I couldn't live without. As long as they are okay, I ultimately don't care about anything else. It's like that old ranking system trick. They ask you to rank your problem on a scale of 1 to 10. It's a crappy problem, so the person ranks it at like an 8. Then the questioner says the level 10 ranking is equivalent to your house burning down and you are the only one to escape. The original problem no longer seems like a level 8. In psychology it is called reframing. Very useful exercise for anxiety. I had a stroke a couple of weeks ago. Only 27 and no health explanation for the event. And while I was in the hospital walking down the hall with my good old buddy Winston, what I named my IV drip machine pumping me with blood thinner, an older gentleman across the hall saw me and told his nurse I was far too young to be in the ICU. He had a little plastic pumpkin for Halloween and not much else, so he asked the nurse to give it to me. I never found out which patient gave me that pumpkin, but since the stroke, whenever things get stressful I look at it, now sitting on my desk at work, and remember that everything is okay. I plan on keeping my little plastic stroke pumpkin for the rest of my life, however long or short it may be. Edit. Never thought I would have to be that girl, but this got way more attention than I had ever expected. I am going to be driving home soon from work and I am still working on replying to all of the comments here. I just wanted to thank all of you for taking the time to show a little support. It really does mean something to me, and it is oddly comforting having so many absolute strangers take a moment to relate, offer encouragement. And of course, for those who decided me and my stroke pumpkin were worthy of actual currency. Thank you very much for the awards. I am happy my experience could make an impression on someone else's day. I plan on keeping my little plastic stroke pumpkin for the rest of my life, however long or short it may be. When I'm feeling down and out, full of sorrow, full of doubt, full of cold and cast afar, when I'm troubled, there you are. When I'm drifting far away, all my skies are cold and grey, all the world's a fading star. When I'm falling, there you are. When I'm dreaming, I can see where you're waiting. There you'll be, salve enough to soothe a scar. When I need you, there you are. I hope you make a full recovery. Thanks. I am doing well, all things considered, and I am grateful to have bounced back so quickly. The whole experience was really sort of surreal. Do you mind sharing what the stroke felt like? Did you or the people around you recognize it as such, or only in the hospital? I have no qualms about sharing. Still a bit mildly fascinated myself, to be honest, in regards to the whole ordeal. I was at work and it was a very typical Friday morning. I hadn't been sleeping much recently due to some neck, shoulder pain, previous small injury that didn't heal, plus bad gaming posture habits. But it had actually started to let up, so I was in pretty good spirits. I work doing IT help desk, so I was at my desk and on a call with a user when my vision started to get kind of fuzzed out on the right side. I tried rubbing my eye but realized that both eyes were fuzzing in the same spot and the spot was growing. I finished the call while joking with the user about me not being able to see what I was typing at. I was starting to get a bit concerned. I joked to my coworker that I needed a break because I was having a stroke or something. Lol. And then tried to look down at my hands on my keyboard and realized no matter how hard I tried, I could only see one of them and the other was just not there. I felt alright still, but a little panicky, which I attributed to the vision loss, and tried to take a sip of coffee. I was looking at my coffee on the desk and grabbed a cup and brought it to my mouth thinking it was the coffee. It was not. I was confused at this point but not really able to comprehend it. I went to the restroom and sat in an empty stall for about 15 minutes until my vision came back. That as I walked back to my desk I started getting a little nauseous and shaky, so I decided to go to my boss's office and ask for a break. I remember I was sort of holding myself and words weren't coming to me easily, which he definitely picked up on and asked me to sit in his office while he grabbed HR. I called my mom while he was out of the office. After opening and closing my contacts several times and forgetting what I was doing, thankfully, she works close by, and asked her to pick me up because I might be heading for a migraine. Note: I had never had a migraine, but the symptoms were eerily similar and I knew this from friends who did. When she picked me up we almost drove home, but I was getting very nauseous and wasn't really verbal. So we stopped at the hospital by my house. They 100% figured it was a migraine just as I did and gave me a migraine cocktail, but not before doing a CT with dye just to rule out anything else. Thankfully, one of the attendants came in telling me I was about to be discharged and he was grabbing my paperwork when another came in and asked if my shoulder was hurting. He then said I was being admitted and would be taken to the ICU and be there for at least a couple days because I had presented with a stroke event. Mind you, I was starting to feel better at this point. I probably left some things out, but feel free to ask questions if you have any. I really don't mind discussing it. Helps me process it too. Oof, this reads exactly like all of my migraines. Glad you're feeling better. Edit. Wow, making this comment was the best way to get a good group discussion going amongst my fellow migraineur. We stand united. Even though we can't see us all standing united. Expressionless. I text a friend and see if they want to have dinner. We plan something and cook it with a good drink. Then another. Repeat as necessary. Life feels pretty good after a few drinks and dinner with friends. Also, I get to try out a lot of new recipes. What are these friends you speak of? I learned in college the danger of having friends you also work with. So now I pretty much just don't have friends I can just invite over. What about friends you didn't work with? Step 1. Dress in a manner that you find attractive. Step 2. Go to a chill bar if you drink. Coffee shop if you don't. Step 3. Integrated. Purchase alcohol, coffee and just melt into the scene for a moment. Step 4. Find someone, preferably of the same sex at first, unless they're checking you out. This is to make sure that they don't get the wrong idea. Who looks as lonely as you do? Step 5. Talk to them. If they're not really crappy, make a new friend. Step 6. Repeat this entire procedure until you have a stable of friends you can rely on. Congratulations. Edit. Best karaoke song for couples is Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Not responsible for you drowning in pussy. Additional step 2s. 1. Step 5. Talk to them. If they're not really crappy, make a new friend. Rest of the freaking owl. Step 5a. Look deeply into their eyes. I've been waiting, Obi-Wan. We meet again. At last. Step 5b. Ignore their choruses of who the frick are you, and press on. The circle is now complete. When I left you I was but the learner. Now, I am the master. Step 5c. Buy them beer. Alternatively, approach a tall person who is like extremely good looking. Very important bonus if their archery skills are great. And tell them, never thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf. Now they've fallen into your trap and have no choice but to reply, what about side by side with a friend? Single quote. When I lay down at night with my cat, who is 20 years old, she's such a love bug and I am so lucky to have had her this long and all the stress just melts away. Heart. Edit. This is Callie in 2000, which is the oldest picture I have of her. Callie now and me. I'm sure she's just the sweetest thing ever. My cat was at the sweet age of 13 before she left us. But I swear the snuggly ones get even more so as they get older. Want cat. Edit. Who is the silly Billy wasting money on me? I do not like. Edit 2. This is one of my most upvoted comments and it is literally just the words, want cat. Go to a shelter and pick one out. Edit. Thanks for the silver. If you can afford it though, I'd really encourage donating to your local shelter instead. No bad crap. I have a roof over my head. You have silver over your comment, and who is the rich guy that is giving awards? You're not wrong. Isn't it just the craziest thing? Yeah man, we're not all that lucky. We have oxygen. Oxygen is nice, right? That's so cute. My name is Kat, and even though you cry sometime, I know you know that when you're glum and gloomy too, I'll hold you close. I'm there for you. My name is Sprog, and when I write poems only a nice meal bright, because I know when PPL sad and see poem sad turns to glad. You're my comfort and my pleasure. You're the apple of my eye. You're as precious as a treasure, and the sunbeam in the sky. You're the essence of emotion. You're a wholesome honeybee. You're the spirit of devotion. And you're wonderful to me. And it's you I'll hold above me. And it's you that I'll adore. And you might just say you like me, but I think I like you more. And then BSP. Carrot, carrot, carrot. The freshest sprog I ever saw. A handy prose that I adore. Sometimes I read in times of strife. A funny line, a tip for life, but sometimes dark. I remember more my ex-wife's jokes. That spiteful whore. Carrot smiley face. No judgment, but you guys could stand to lose some weight. That despite the fact I suffer kidney failure and am on dialysis 3 days a week. I remind myself that I'm at least still alive and can still be with my family. Many other serious illnesses don't give that luxury. Would like to point out I'm from UK for those who have asked. Scotland to be more specific. I'm on dialysis. 2. I switched to peritoneal dialysis a couple years ago after having been on hemodialysis for a year. I cannot stress enough how much better my quality of life has become. I treat myself at home every night while I sleep. No more needles. No more sitting in a chair for 4 hours every other day. It's also much easier to travel. But most importantly, I feel better than I did on hemo. I always felt like a zombie after hemo. The dietary restrictions are also not as severe. I strongly recommend you speak to your nephrologist about PD. It's easy to do and you will regain a lot of control of your life. You will not regret it. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Edit. Silver and gold. Thank you. Could I also send you a PM? My dad is on dialysis and very unhappy. Please do. I'll do whatever I can to help him. Edit. Thank you for the silver. Kind stranger. That's a first for me. And it's conversations like this that help me answer the OP's question. Smiley face. What pets do you have? I have a dog and 4 cats. 3 of the cats are kittens that we just got 2 weeks ago. Riding my bike and listening to music. It takes my mind off of everything. And I forget what's going on and I'm just happy. Edit. Holy crap, thanks for the upvotes and the 2 silver. I just got out of work so this is a shocker lol. Thanks everyone. Doing anything as long as there is music. I think about all the natural wonders, all the organisms, both beautiful and terrifying, that inhabit this earth with me. I think about the fact that no matter how bad things seem on our pale blue dot, the cosmos are massive, complex, and new stars are still being born in stellar nurseries all the time. I also like to think of my life from a historical context. Needed a root canal a few weeks ago and was pretty bummed about it till I remember that old-timey dentistry was whiskey and some dude with a steady hammering hand. Hardcore history and other such shows are also excellent workout motivation. My ancestors used to have to be ready to throw down and scrap. This bike ride to the grocery store is a cakewalk comparatively, and it's good for me too. Edit. Someone commented and reminded me of this amazing short story. Creative writing, novels, and art are also things that cheer me up greatly. Beautiful and terrifying organisms. Had to read that twice. I'm not homeless anymore. My chronic illness is in remission, so I can feed myself and even work outside the house. Life is good. We're only here for a minute. Enjoy it. Edit. Thanks for the cake day wishes. Love you guys. Yeah, you're right. Never know how you'll be around, so you have to do whatever you can when you can. Happy cake day, by the way. Cause I'm only here for a minute and I don't care what you say, cause I know you're only here. Cause I'm winning, but I can be my own kind of rock and roll, like I don't really care if you say you don't freak with me, and I can say what the frick I want, cause it's down to me and I got love for you, even if you're doubting me like oh my god I just can't stop. When days are hard, and nights are long, when storms are raging rough, when all my dreams are none too strong, and hopes ain't hope enough, I close my eyes to hear the breeze. The secret words inside, the whispered winds that shake the trees. The songs that skip and hide. I hear the rhymes that ride a tide. The swing, the sound, the beat, the lines that swell and slip and slide in stanzas. Small and sweet, I hear the sounds that hold and wait for those who seek to find a safer shore, a surer state, a better frame of mind. When days are hard, when tempests cry a squall of aches and pains, I close my eyes and breathe a sigh, and poetry remains. This is beautiful. I'm very glad that you have poetry to help you be happy, Sprog. Because you've absolutely spread that happiness to countless people on this ridiculous website. You're undoubtedly a gifted enough writer to take your talent literally anywhere else. But thank you for spending the effort entertaining us here on Reddit. I laugh at myself for being a big LWIAR. I think someone's trying to get people to reply to this thread. For one reason or another. Maybe they feel others need to see the replies. Yeah, maybe smiley face. I think we all need to know how to keep ourselves cheery from time to time. Thanks for watching LWIAR 2. The best of all time r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out the original LWIAR channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe.